All right, welcome back to Fleckus Talks the Podcast, episode 345. Today on the show, Eric Swalwell is in some hot water after a video surfaced of him kissing a hooker who wasn't his wife in a hotel room. We're going to show you. Then Trump squares off against the Pope over illegals getting deported. We're going to go over the details there. Then in Cringe of the Week, they made Malcom in the Middle reboot gay and non-binary. We don't really appreciate that. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, a 60-time repeat offender killed a Marine and no one is talking about it, but we will. All this and more is Fleckus Talks the Podcast, episode 345, ranked the best snooze podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleckus Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, 1 for 1 on the intro, as always. Guys, fluoride. The government has been medicating your water with it for over 80 years. Not because you asked for it, not because you voted for it, because they decided you need it. I don't want anyone making that decision for me. That's why every drop of water in my house is filtered with Cove Pure. Over 209 million Americans are on fluoridated water right now, and here's what the science actually shows. In September of 2024, a federal judge ruled that adding fluoride to water poses, and I'm quoting the court directly, an unreasonable risk to neurological health. Not a fringe study, a federal court ordered the EPA to act. Then in January 2025, a study published by JAMA Pediatrics, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, confirmed a link between fluoride exposure and children's IQ scores. The higher the exposure, the lower the IQ. Sure, some states are moving on this. Florida and Utah just banned fluoride in the water, but that process takes years, and your family and friends and children are drinking fluoridated water right now. You need something that works now, and that's exactly what Cove Pure is. Its clear wave reverse osmosis technology is certified to remove up to 99.9% of contaminants. Fluoride, PFAS, lead, pharmaceuticals, heavy metals, anything that isn't water gets filtered out. I love my Cove Pure. It was super easy to set up. It's basically plug and play. The water tastes great, and it looks really sleek, and it makes my kitchen look nice. So don't wait for the government to catch up and take the fluoride out of the water for you. Get a Cove Pure today. Use my link, and you'll get $250 off. Go to covepure.com/Fleckus. That's covepure.com/Fleckus. $250 off. Thank you to Cove Pure for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right, thank you to Cove Pure for sponsoring.
Thank you, Cove Pure.
I love my Cove Pure. How was everyone's weekend?
It was a lovely weekend for me, actually.
It was a nice weekend for me, too. The weather was nice. I do have a little bit of announcement, some housekeeping within housekeeping. We fixed the ads on Spotify. A lot of people were complaining, and I thought you guys were just whining, but then I looked into it. I clicked a button that said optimize ads, and I thought that just meant like put the ads in nice places.
Naturally occurring breaks, something like that is what I would assume, right? If I was clicking that button.
And optimize the ads means put 20 in the Spotify episodes.
Stuff as many ads as you fucking can. So sorry for anybody who listens on Spotify, but we're always trying to drive people to YouTube anyway.
Yeah,
so
YouTube's where you want to watch it, and thank you guys who struggled through that. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, and imagine listening to the podcast when it's like a very long video of some Urban Decay type stuff, and it's like, oh, you're listening on audio only. Oh, look at him! Like, what do you guys think?
This is the most important part. This is where he gets them, and just hearing
everybody pay attention to this. Like, I don't get what audio. I guess it's nice to be, you're hanging out with us in your car on your drive somewhere, but everybody should be watching the show. We've evolved at this point.
And the video version is available on Spotify, but don't go there. Just come to YouTube. You can watch on Spotify if that's what you do, but if you're in between, just watch on YouTube, please.
Yep.
Masters was over the weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Rory won again.
Back-to-back, Rory McIlroy, after he apparently played the course like 27 times in the month leading up to the Masters, which a lot of people are salty about, but me personally, I guess if you can, you can.
Yeah,
That's where I fall. Rory grinded harder and he wanted it more, and he barely stuck it out because he got nervous on Saturday and Sunday, but he grinded it.
I guess if you can, but I don't really like Rory McIlroy. And I found a tweet that kind of sums up how I feel about him and why I don't think he should have won the Masters.
What the fuck has Rory McIlroy ever done for Israel?
Nothing.
Yeah, so we don't know, maybe.
So why was he allowed to win?
That's true. I don't know. In this day and age,
It makes no sense.
Big Yahoo made the call.
But yeah, he won. I like Cam Young.
Yeah.
That seems like our guy. Nice Christian man, takes his family to church, wears a MAGA hat, goes hunting.
Yeah. Hopefully he wins a major down the line. It's scary. Sunday at Augusta, for those who know, it's a pressure cooker. So, but yeah, it was a fun tournament. I liked it. I always love the Masters weekend. I watch it, all the streams, the Masters app, and it was lovely. And we kind of touched on it a little bit. People were getting angry that Jason Kelce was there. There seems to be some like influencerization happening to the Masters. And anybody who posted content was like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't disrespect the place. So it's actually funny. And the Masters we've talked about a lot, and not to get too deep into it at the first piece of housekeeping, but the Masters has a standard that they fiercely protect. And nobody is above the law and stuff. And then look at the result. Look at the product,
That's very true. So it's the last piece of American integrity.
It's one of them. It's one of them for sure.
It's one of them. All right, well, let's get into the show. We have a small update about the January 6th alleged pipe bomber.
Yeah, FBI whistleblowers now claim that FBI officials in the Trump administration applied pressure on Blaze, the Blaze TV, to silence or remove Steve Baker over his reporting on the January 6th pipe bomber. They also claim a career federal agent who helped Baker's investigation is now dead.
Rat Boy said it, not me.
That was who wrote that? That was Emerald Robinson on Twitter.
And all we did was read
just
it.
diffuse.
But that it is interesting, and it does get high stakes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, very quickly. It gets high stakes,
it's like a House of Cards. It's like a movie.
Push a girl in front of a train type move. Yeah.
You get a big story, and then people start dying, and it's more than just something we read on the podcast.
Totally.
Scary stuff. All right, let's get right into the Eric Swalwell stuff. It's the story of the weekend.
Yep.
He was caught kissing a hooker who wasn't his wife in bed in a hotel room. Here's the video.
Awkward, needy. And then kissing a hooker, that's not proto.
You're not supposed to kiss
You never kiss the hooker, right? Isn't that common sense, right?
We all thought so. And apparently there's another congressman in the room as well. And apparently there's more stuff coming out about Swalwell. That's not the only clip. Mm-hmm. But you have to assume he was being blackmailed this whole time, and that's why he was saying all the retarded stuff for all those years.
Yeah.
And it also...
That makes sense. That's the lowest common... Pull the thread, Occam's razor. Why was he saying all that stupid shit? He must have been blackmailed. He's not just a Democrat, right?
They had videos of him doing bad stuff. He must have been blackmailed. And it could also be why he farted that time on live TV.
Yeah.
It was probably like a protest in a way where he's like, here's what I think of you forcing me to say all this stuff.
Yeah.
He was like a protest.
All right. You're thinking. Now you're thinking.
Cernovich had a tweet about it that sums up how we feel.
Well, he was running for governor of California. And with the electoral system they have in California, I don't know exactly how it works because it's leftist hell and, it's not like a path for a Republican usually exists. But there's some sort of ranked choice thing where he could have screwed it up and maybe allowed a Republican. I'm a secondhand conveyor of this message, but Cernovich said Eric Swalwell is illustrative of modern blackmail politics. He was being recorded with hookers. Obviously, everyone knew. He goes along with the program and is fine. Once he departs, then the walls come tumbling down. You think he's the only member of Congress compromised? No way.
That's very true. And like you said, once he started to elevate and run for governor, that could have been screwing things up. No longer playing ball. Here's all those tapes of you kissing hookers.
Yeah. Why'd you kiss the hooker,
Why
man?
are you kissing?
It's no contact, no kissing. It's like rule number one of a hooker, right? I don't know.
No one knows.
I'm not positive.
We've seen
but I think that's
movies.
pretty common. I've seen that in movies, right?
Also, keep in mind, 357 members of Congress voted to not release the sexual assault records when that came a few months back.
Yeah, and I think we may have mentioned it, but House kills effort to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports was the headline.
There you go. So they don't want to ruin the blackmail operation. And it's kind of like the same with the Epstein files and why they weren't fully released.
That's true, yeah. Why would we give this all for free when we could save it for when Eric Swalwell's in a position to ascend to the governor of California when we don't want him to? So Let's keep these secrets and save them for when we can release them ourselves.
Yep. And then we have his tweet. He's dropping out. He's going to do some reflecting and call his wife.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to walk around a little bit, but he's out of the race. So blackmail was effective, right?
Absolutely was. All right, let's get to our next story.
That guy's a real turd.
Yeah.
That guy's just a douche. Like, there's something going on with the mouth that's unbelievable.
He's got like...
Yeah, he's got like a schlop face, and it's like, are you a fucking robot from the Men in Black or something? So good to see him go, but a little nefarious.
Turd is a
Little
really...
nefarious sounds like a rapper.
Yeah, turd is a good word for him. That's exactly what he is. He's just like a little... bitch.
Squid is also a fitting verb.
Someone who wasn't cool in high school and had no excuse not to be.
Yeah.
All right, we have some EBT stuff we want to get to early in the EPB. This neck tat cholo type is mad he can't get free Sunny D no more.
Happening, y'all. All you can get to drink now with your food stamps is water. Not eligible. It's happening, y'all. It's happening. What am I gonna drink now? Not eligible. What is going on, man? What was supposed to drink?
So I guess Sunny D is a human right.
Yeah. I don't know how we got there. This is kind of like the tail end of capitalism, like a cold drink ready to go at your fingertips. And he's like, we can't get that no more? This is a human rights abuse. And it's like, I don't know. Part of the capitalism is having money.
Yeah.
You're on supplemental nutrition assistance program.
Exactly. And then these food stamp programs were created in the 1930s to help people during the Great Depression. And then after that, it was intended for like single moms and like widows of military veterans, stuff like that. And now like a fully able-bodied cholo type with neck tattoos says, they're only giving us water. They're only giving us water.
Go mix some concrete, fuck-ass bitch. Like, go do something, man.
And then
sacrifice your well-being.
Yeah, get in the sun. Get in the sun and dig a hole or whatever people get paid to do. Yeah. And he's mad he couldn't buy that Gold Peak tea for $2.50, but you could buy tea bags for the same price and make gallons and gallons of tea. But he don't feel like doing that Betty Crocker shit.
Yeah, miss me with that Betty Crocker shit, they say. I'm going to go get another neck tattoo. And that's something we've always said for this Snap EBT stuff. Like, these people are complaining about stuff. You need to be soaking beans, making rice with, like, some scrap protein, getting creative. If you're a Snap person, you should have some version of a victory garden. This is not society's job to give you consumer packaged goods that are ready to consume right now. So
yeah, you can buy like a 50-pound bag of rice and you'll be good for a while.
Yeah.
And also he has a teardrop tattoo under his eye, so I'm assuming he's gang affiliated and killed somebody.
Yeah.
And he also has a neck tattoo of the $, which I'm assuming all the money he had was spent on the tattoos.
That's idealist. He's like thinking and dreaming of money. He doesn't have any right now. He can't even afford the iced tea. But he does, like, down the line, he'll get rich again, right?
He manifesting and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another EBT guy that was mad that he couldn't buy a new phone with his EBT card.
And I think this is a phone repair place, so he dropped his phone off to get it fixed, and he couldn't afford to pay for it to get fixed, but he wants it now.
I gotta pay for it, bro. Like, but I gave you like a lot of discount already. Like, you gotta pay for it, bro. Like, for real. Like, there's you called me yesterday or so. I told you like I gave you discount, but
I can't pay with no EBT card.
No, we don't accept EBT, bro. Like, it's not like all food. But I can't do anything, bro. Just bring the money. I will get your phone back.
I'm trying to get my phone right now. I'm punching your fucking face right now.
Bro, what the fuck? I'm gonna fucking crack your face, motherfucker. What the fuck? Get the fuck out from my store.
I need my phone now.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, boy.
I'm not going nowhere until I get my phone.
Shut the fuck up, I'm saying. But don't talk to me like that, okay? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. Shut the fuck up.
Might be better just to give him the phone because it's basically a robbery whether the guy realizes it or not.
Yeah, and then what do you think would have happened if this guy wasn't filming and he was a diminutive woman repairing his cell phone? You think she would have gotten strong-armed?
Definitely.
I think so. So EBT didn't work, strong-arming didn't work. Guess I'm all out of options. That's pretty much the big two in that community, right?
I could pay with EBT or I could strong arm you. Those are the two. Mm-hmm. We have some more.
But it's nice to see, it's nice to see the EBT stickers, the stuff slowly rolling out in the States, people getting their little treats and stuff taken away. go get a job. A lot of job applications out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Our next story is kind of in the same fraud category. There is a New York City congestion price for people who drive their cars into the city instead of using public transportation, and it's a lot.
I just got a $600 bill in the mail from the congestion toll pricing from driving in New York. I've been driving in the city for years, at least 5-6 years, and I refuse to take public transportation because I've been assaulted twice on public transportation. The Uber prices are absolutely insane, and there just has to be a solution to this. Like, I can't go on.
So $600 because public transportation is too dangerous, but they're trying to force her into the subway kill box anyway.
Yeah, well, now you can't leave scenario. Doors now closing. 30 street rats near you. And yeah, that's just it. This is who it affects. Like the person who, if there were 100,000 people like her all on public transport, I don't think we'd see a problem. But unfortunately, New York City and the metro area at large, probably Port Authority, isn't upholding their end of the bargain, right?
Very true. And here's what riding the subway looks like in a blue city. This caption is, "We not letting white people on the train all 2026.
White woman tries to get on. Chicago, looks like maybe the red line. White guy just blocks it.
He says no.
Yeah.
But then they're going to fine you $600 for avoiding this state-enforced violent assault.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's how it goes. All right, we have some Iran.
That's real estate prices, too. That's like why you pay more for a suburban house, because you don't want to be around the public transit people, right?
Yeah, that's true. All right, we have some Iran updates, but we're going to start with some similar blue state problems like the $600 congestion fee. It turns out California is taking a big cut of the profits from gas.
Yeah, with oil spiking due to the Strait of Hormuz being closed and all those. I'm blockading it. No, you're not. I'm blockading it. Going on back and forth. Gas prices are up, and obviously California is kind of the headline of that. Anytime you see the highest are always in California. But this says California takes a bigger margin on gas than Chevron does. That's the oil company.
And initially, Gavin Newsom's press office said, while America suffers, Chevron profits.
Because that's a big key. You got to give the people someone to hate. And it's like, wait a second, why is gas $8? Probably Chevron. Trump. But it's $3 in Florida. So it doesn't make much sense. But yeah, so he gets fact checked on it. And then with this, so in California, the government collects far more per gallon of gasoline than Chevron or any refiner earns in profit. Latest data, taxes and fees is about 90 cents to $1.31 per gallon. And refiners' gross margin is close to 40 to 60 cents per gallon.
It's almost like double.
Yeah, and it reminds me, who is it? John D. Rockefeller, Standard Oil. Mm-hmm. He broke up all his companies. He used to get the oil, refine it, transport it. He had he was the richest man of all time, basically, up until, Elon probably zapped him. Or maybe he still is. And they broke it up. It was this big 1911, we got to bust up that trust, and it's got to be fair, right? And then now we just have a weird new monopoly took over, and it's Gavin Newsom and the henchmen.
Thinking these gas guys are making too much money.
It's the state of California now, and there's no recourse. You can't break up the state. So it's so fascinating, but that kind of shows you where we're at. I think we said it last week, the old cartoon thing where you take out $100 to hand to your wife, and then she takes the wallet. Another similar thing happening here in California.
That's so true. Yeah. And California, everyone says, oh, the gas prices, Chevron or whatever. And California makes all the money and they don't even do anything.
Nothing
Chevron
good.
At least delivers it and dumps it into the thing,
There's
carries it on a truck, pulls it out of the ground, buys it, ships it on a boat. California just goes, what do we got here? A little transaction?
We're fixing homelessness with this now. This is mine now. So crazy, man.
We have some updates about oil out of Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia fully restores the east-west oil pipeline, bypassing the Strait of Hormuz and pumping 7 million barrels per day.
That's very good. And we have some more context on how that compares to past numbers.
Yeah, 3 days ago on April 9th, Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Energy reported that Iranian attacks cut their east-west pipeline throughput by 700,000 barrels a day. They also mentioned production cuts totaling 600,000 barrels per day at the Manifa and Kurais fields. Today they announced the East-West pipeline and energy facilities damaged in recent attacks have been restored to full operational capacity, and the pipeline is now pumping 7 million barrels a day.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't mind the Saudis. Maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I like Mohammed bin al-Salman, whatever his name is.
I don't mind them when they're over there. I don't mind them. Just stay over there. And then, you and Trump can do the orb or whatever when you boys meet up and have fun. I'm not involved in any of that, though.
And then we have some good news for America when it comes to oil and gas. Look at the map here of the Gulf of America. At first, when Trump changed the name to Gulf of America, I was like, this is kind of not an important thing. Who cares?
Yeah.
Now I get it because all the gas is getting taken out.
That's true.
Everyone's heading to Texas and Louisiana. Look how crowded the Gulf of America is, and we have some context here.
Hundreds of super tankers from every corner of the planet are racing to Texas and Louisiana to fill up on the sweetest, cheapest, and most American oil on Earth.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't really know what to compare it to. I mean, I believe that it has increased, obviously, but nice little byproduct of this now month-old war.
Yeah.
Our clothes are getting loose. Chinese machinery, we're getting close. It is dragging on though.
It is dragging on. Hopefully it's over maybe this week. I hope so.
We keep rolling. It's like you keep rolling a 2-week ceasefire until we do what you want. And then how many times can we do that until we're in like a full Middle Eastern conflict or something?
Yeah. And then this Iran war has kind of opened a lot of MAGA's eyes to like Trump and what his loyalties are and like what this administration, this second time around, is actually about. And a lot of people are obviously disappointed, including us and like the real MAGA people. This is another example of one of those things where Trump does something and you go, why are we doing that?
Yeah. He said Senator Lindsey Graham is doing a fantastic job. He is running against a lunatic named Mark Lynch, who supports perhaps the worst congressman in the history of our country, Thomas Massey of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. I don't have to go into great detail, but needless to say, Mark Lynch would be a disaster for the Republican Party, and Lindsey Graham just gets the job done. Vote for Lindsey all the way. MAGA, President Donald J. Trump.
It's almost, is he like doing a bit?
Yeah.
Is it like,
it's a joke.
You're doing SOS?
It's a joke.
Morse code with your eyes?
Yeah, let's read the first letter of every line. Say, sat, go, did, gets. Nope, nothing
Maybe
coded
there's like
there.
a secret code in there. Like, guys, they got me. They got me tied up here.
Yeah. Help.
Lindsey Graham's great. You must know. This means like revolt. You know I would never say this. And we have an old tweet from Trump from a couple years ago. I blame myself for Lindsey Graham because the only reason he won the great state of South Carolina is because I endorsed him.
Yeah.
So how does your mind change and now he's doing great and everything's awesome? And then a couple days ago, Trump called Tucker, Candace, and Alex Jones and some others low IQ, fake MAGA, stuff like that, not America first. And then Tucker had a really good response. We're not going to read all of it, but we're going to give you the gist of it.
He's in a tough spot. Establishment media never reports this, but the Israeli government has a storied history of blackmailing U.S. presidents. Perhaps the most jarring example occurred in the 90s when Israel used recordings of a Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky phone sex session as leverage to pressure Clinton into releasing convicted spy Jonathan Pollard from prison. We're not joking. That really happened. The phone sex story is worth remembering as President Trump attempts to end the Iran war. Like many other things Israel has done, it shows that America's special ally is willing to play very dirty to achieve its goals. Dark money campaign contributions, extortion, physical threats, and even assassination. In their anti-Christian worldview, the ends always justify the means. They have no issue destroying lives. So that's the gist of it.
That's the gist, and I completely agree with Tucker's take, and it really does feel like that way. Like, how else would you explain Trump's behavior, endorsing Lindsey Graham, another war for Israel, no mass deportations? They probably threatened him and his family. They maybe are blackmailing him with something they have on him. I actually feel bad.
Yeah.
He's in a tough spot.
And I can't even speculate on what they have or what they're up to or how much he's getting dragged in or if it's just his advisors dragging him in. But either way, something doesn't smell right.
Yeah.
And it's derailing our coalition. It's derailing our landslide victory of every single branch of government and winning the popular vote. You know, we're just stuck on some Iran thing.
And then if you think about it, like obviously half the country automatically hates Trump just because he's Trump. and then you just split the right into, it was already split between like rhinos and America First.
Yeah.
And then you just split that America First faction like 70-30, where 70% of people are like, I'm not really about Trump MAGA anymore.
Definitely.
So like that is actually the most important group to break him apart from, and that's what they're doing. Trump's trying to end the war in Iran. Israel doesn't want that. I'm assuming things are going to heat up.
Yeah.
All
Fair
right.
assumption.
Next, we have a clip where Sav Hernandez was attacked at an ICE protest. So we have no audio, but you see her getting pushed around. These girls are pushing her. No one's helping her, pushing her on the fence.
Waving dildos around, going crazy. And the mob kind of takes over here. Once someone bumps into you a little bit, the mob kind of goes a little crazy. They're emboldened, right? That's how a mob works.
Then the guy comes and pushes her from the back right there.
Yeah.
And
Small
they keep
girl.
going. Small girl, Sav.
Grinder, investigative reporter,
Yeah.
tiny, getting beat up by like leftist freaks, right?
And this actually really does bother me because she like obviously works hard. She's reporting from the streets, from the action. And then she gets attacked by a man and no one does anything.
Yeah.
And another key takeaway with this, it also shows that the left obviously doesn't care about women or racism because a white guy just pushed a Hispanic woman to the ground, but because she's right-wing, it's okay. They only cry racism or sexism or xenophobia when it's applied to the right-wingers because it's a tool to take our power away.
Yeah, just friendly reminder. So you don't really have to listen to any of their speeches when they're trying to take your power away, right? Or disenfranchise you.
Because like all they care about is like Hispanic people and women and white men are oppressive. Wouldn't you go, oh, this white man just pushed this Hispanic woman to the ground. This is the problem.
Yeah, they don't follow their own rules that they made up 4 years ago.
It's purely a power grab tool. And we have a close-up of the guy pushing Sav in the back here.
The double-handed chest pass, right?
Yeah. And then that guy has a GoFundMe, even though he was the pusher.
For $5,000. He's just trying to get some legal fees, I guess. Just $5,000, please. I'm not asking for too much for double shoving a girl in the back. Right?
Yeah. And we have an ironic example here. This guy who pushed Sav also did an interview recently where he said ICE was bad because they were rough with the woman.
So thuggish. So fucking thuggish.
Right. There was one girl that got knocked down. She was bawling. She hit her head on the concrete. And they grabbed her by the leg and dragged her all the way across the damn road onto the federal land and detained her over there.
So he's like defending a woman because she's a woman and ICE was rough with her.
Yeah.
Clearly doesn't care. Why was Rory McIlroy interviewing that guy?
I don't know. He works for the Bulwark or something, apparently. He must be grave knighting or what's it called?
Night shift.
I don't know.
So that's not ideal, but like, you know, same thing. Oh, he pretends to care about these things, but in action, it's not actually about caring about those things. It's about taking power from the right.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
Yeah, you don't listen to their words, you look at their actions, right? And all the words, that's just a tool to get you to not do certain actions. It's not about them.
Yep. All right, we're going to be fully in our migrant section now. We have the Trump versus the Pope showdown. Trump had a long Truth Social post I'm sure you guys saw in response to something the Pope had said. Can you read that Pope paragraph?
Yeah, Pope Leo called for deep reflection on how migrants are treated in the United States, where he said many people were deeply affected by the controversial policy of mass deportation. He had some tweets like hundreds of millions of people throughout the world are immersed in extreme poverty, yet disproportionate wealth remains in the hands of a few. It's an unjust scenario in the face of which we cannot fail to question. And it's like, I thought I was reading something from like a leftist there.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of people, the means of production.
It's like an Anderson Cooper tweet.
Yeah, and so Trump said some, he hit back, Pope Leo is weak on crime, terrible on foreign policy. We're not even going to read it very much because it doesn't really matter. It's Trump strikes back when someone struck him.
Yep, and then that paragraph there, the second one, can you give that a read, please?
Speaking in English and reaching a U.S. audience directly, he reiterated the Catholic belief that every Christian will ultimately be judged on how they welcomed the foreigner.
Okay. I want to talk about that specifically, how we welcome the foreigner, because first of all, there's like 50 million of them here, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are illegal and skipped the whole line and whole process. So they're skipping over millions of other people who are trying to do it correctly.
Definitely.
But we're being accused of not treating the foreigner well. We brought them here by the millions. They didn't go through the right process. We gave them free food, free health care, and hotel rooms, and we treat them better than we do our own citizens. I think we're treating the foreigner pretty good.
Yeah, that was kind of flying colors in terms of the foreigner. Like, oh, I'm getting pampered. I'm in the hotel, Roosevelt Hotel. So we were nice, and then people kind of took advantage of us, right? All these migrants, and it's something that, like, that phrase, right? The foreigner. If you're in a small town and some guy comes up and goes, hey, I'm just passing through on a spice trade during the time when the Bible was written, you'd be nice to him. This sort of industrialized, full-scale world, all at once, dumping of the third world into America in an organized way, I don't know if that's the foreigner.
It's not.
To me, that doesn't make any sense. And I doubt the Pope, His Holiness, has been looking... respectfully, His Holiness has been seeing the amount of stuff that we've seen in terms of migrant scams, little hacks, ways to get in. And we just pulled up some of the 10 commandments. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, and you shall not cover your neighbor's goods, right?
Covet your neighbor's goods, yeah.
Covet your neighbor's wife, and then goods is in that as well. And I think pretty much every migrant type who came over and made some sort of fake asylum claim during the peak of Joe Biden, I think that would count as bearing false witness.
I would say so.
Just a little bit, you know. You kind of made up your situation, and you came with 4 of your boys, and there's no women. It's all military-age male. Might be a little bit of false witness, and then they all coveted my neighbor's goods, and that's us.
That's our stuff.
That's our stuff. My Ford F-150, they really coveted that. And so, like, I think a broad thing is, and then let's go... One does not need to, I'll read this out. One does not need to be a rocket scientist to realize that the reason Obama henchman David Axelrod met with Pope Leo last week was to coordinate a media propaganda blitz and quasi-color revolution designed to separate faithful American Roman Catholics from support for the MAGA agenda.
That's part of it.
So that was another piece. And so there's a little bit of, it's, you know, if you're going to say something with Catholic doctrine, that's fine, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, you have to look at what has the Pope said or come out on, and what has he not said? Did he ever make an announcement that no one should break the laws of America and come in illegally? Did he ever, like, discourage people from breaking the laws of our land by scamming wealth? You know, all of a sudden when it's time to reverse the crazy amount of damage done, then it's inhumane and worth speaking out on, you know?
Very true.
So I'm Catholic. I don't really like to hear this. And it's a dumb fight too. And then Trump posts this picture of him, like, presumably as a Christ-like figure.
Yeah.
And he since deleted it.
And they asked him about it, and he said that he thought in the picture he was portrayed as a doctor. And he was helping.
Come on, guys. But yes. So and then the Pope, His Holiness, he started it, right? And then Trump hits back. And then right after that, all these cardinals went out on 60 Minutes on Sunday night, and here's a quote: our mass count within the Spanish masses in our archdiocese went down 30% from the year before. 30%, that's a lot, and it's all fear, says Cardinal Robert McElroy of Washington, D.C. McElroy, this whole episode's about Rory McElroy.
The whole episode's about Rory. He's a priest.
Yeah, but so, you know, it's like a coordinated thing, and then our mass count our mass went down. It's like, they can be Catholic in Nicaragua. I don't understand why they need to be here, right?
And you're basically saying, like, 30% of everyone who's attending Mass in America...
Spanish Mass, yeah.
Spanish Mass is illegal?
Yeah. That's the implication.
That's proving our point.
I think so. And so this is just so frustrating to see, like, oh, I'll speak out, but when we're being invaded, and I keep using the phrase an industrial invasion, because there was, like, machines word up. NGOs, foreign countries, the little groups that, like, remember the groups that helped people along the way?
The lawyers.
Yeah. The lawyers.
Here's what you say. Get rid of your passport. Here's what you say when you come to the border, and they'll give you the whatever.
Bearing false witness. Oh, I don't have a passport. You just lied. That was your first interaction with America, is lying, right? And so I'm just a little sick of this, like, one-way street. Like, only Trump needs to watch himself. And then it's fascinating. We've never had an American pope before. He was chosen, and Trump was elected, and it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's, part of it was to speak out against the rising nationalism in America, and we obviously know Catholicism is global, so it doesn't really, it doesn't clash very well with a sovereign nation state, right? Which is what we are.
And how you treat the foreigner. That was my number one, like, least favorite part, how you treat the foreigner. Roosevelt Hotel, $500 debit cards,
Free legal work. Yeah.
free child care, no need to get a job.
Yeah.
We treat them really good. We treated them too good.
Yeah. So, and nobody wins fighting with the Pope, getting in a flame war with the Pope. It's not like winning. But I reject a lot of these statements, man. And I don't know. It's not American to kind of let the Pope bully you into keeping 50 million people here, right?
Yeah, very true. All right, let's move on to our next story, which is something we kind of alluded to, the scamming illegals. A bunch of Patels, we mentioned this like months back. They did a visa fraud scam where they would stage robberies at convenience stores, and then because you were attacked in a violent crime, like you get to stay longer.
Yeah.
Those people were prosecuted, apparently.
Yeah, the Trump DOJ has indicted 10 Indian nationals for their participation in a visa fraud scheme in which they would stage armed robberies at convenience stores. Once the police reports were filed, clerks could qualify for U visas, which are reserved for victims of violent crime who cooperate in criminal investigations.
And it's all Patels.
Patel. 10 Patels.
And I'm not fully familiar with the Indian caste system, but I'm pretty sure the name Patel you have to earn.
Or one of your ancestors earned it.
Or one of your ancestors earned it. It's like a good high caste name where you did something like honorable in the past, and then now you're Patel. Mm-hmm. Patels they should lose Patel for this.
Yeah, they should. And this is a common theme. Like any visa type there's an Indian scam around it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be straight up. There's an Indian scam, a cottage industry of getting robbed. And no, you were like, think about the movies you've watched. Like, you weren't supposed to pistol whip me. It's just like fake crimes like that. And I think the one we covered initially, some of these were in Kentucky. The one we covered initially, they even got cops in on it.
Yeah.
And so some American cops who betrayed the nation for a quick $5,000 from some of these Patels.
But the Pope doesn't say, honor the country you're in and respect their laws and appreciate their culture. It's all about us not letting more in?
Yeah.
More?
That's the thing, not to go back to the Pope, but that selective chiming in. That selective, like, hey, only Donald Trump needs to be held to a certain standard, and all these hordes of people, they're just doing their best.
Yeah, I
don't like that.
You have the American citizens, you have the policymakers who bring in the illegals, you have the illegals coming in like caravans and hordes, and they're millions, and a lot of them aren't Catholic, and mostly men, military-age men. And then the people out of all of that they're mad at, the Pope is mad at, is Donald Trump for trying to enforce laws that are already on the books.
Yep.
Well, we have another video here. These are some Patels that maybe could get looked into in Texas. This is some sort of Patel
Catholic ceremony?
This is not Catholic.
It's not Catholic, right? Okay.
Doesn't look Catholic.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I was confirmed in the Catholic Church, and I don't remember this.
Depending what they do with the effigy.
Yeah. Yeah. Depending on what idolatry comes next.
So that's Texas. That's Princeton, Texas, and that's what it looks like now.
Got to be nice to the foreigner.
Yep, and then we have some other bad news about the foreigners, the Indians, and what they're doing at the beach. Can you read that headline, please?
Yeah, this was a Reddit post from Newcastle, and it said, thoughts on foreign men loitering around showers at the beach. I'm probably going to get downvoted and banned, but I need perspectives and thoughts on what I have noticed over the last year. My family and I are beach people. Winter, summer, it doesn't matter. We love the beach, so we frequent it 3 to 4 times a week. Over the past year, I've noticed more and more groups of Indian men and presumably Muslim men that sit in groups facing the showers or up on the wall. They are dressed in winter gear. No towels, no nothing. So sure, you can say, well, what's wrong with sitting at the beach and watching the waves go by? But why are they specifically sitting around the shower? Why is it that this is the specific place, and why is it that they are clearly spending their time literally turning their heads and intently watching women come and wash the sand off? I've got 2 teenage girls. And time again, I see it happen. People will pull the race or racist card. That's fine. But what are the other perspectives? Do you go and tell them to F off, or do you leave this shit to happen?
And the guy says, why are they sitting and watching the women shower?
Am I allowed to think something negative about this? That's like the equivalent of that whole Reddit post. It's like, you already know the answer. Weird foreign men are watching your teenage daughters shower in bikinis, and you're asking for permission to get angry.
And you don't do anything about it, and you're asking for permission from the leftists to do something?
Would I be rude if I told pedophiles to fuck off? Asking Reddit first in case I don't offend someone, right?
And there's actually a tweet here that sums up that whole energy as well.
Yeah, it's actually super easy to mentally model progressive thought. Just imagine you really want to be seen as a good person and you lack the moral courage to consider second and third order consequences if doing so might make you look like a bad person.
I don't want to say anything to those Muslim guys leering at the women at the beach in winter clothes.
Yeah, and then maybe they get emboldened and then maybe they commit a horrific
word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, pathetic.
I really don't want to offend these guys, but they're leering at my teenage daughter. Would I be a bad mom if I objected to that? Like say it slowly to yourself again, right? So we're at this point where people are so disconnected, they're like losing their instincts because they're shivering in fear of wrongthink.
So true. And then we have an example here of a scammer who's now running for office in Texas.
Meet Zul Mohammed. He pleaded guilty to 106 felony voter fraud charges for forging mail-in ballot applications. Now he's running for mayor in Carrollton, Texas, and he wants to be in charge of passing laws. He'll probably win.
He probably will win.
Yep.
And then Benny Johnson went on Fox, and he was talking about the homicide rate when it comes to illegals. Listen to how many deaths were caused by illegals, homicide-wise.
Right. 13,000 homicides from illegal aliens as of 2024. 13,000 homicides, Liz.
Thank you, Benny Johnson.
Thank you, Benny.
So initially, I thought that was 13,000 since 2024, and I did all the numbers. It's like 16 people a day are killed by illegals. And the numbers
That's like a running total. 13,000 people have been murdered by illegals in America for like a long time. And you know where in the graph or in the years we reached a critical mass of illegals. Mm-hmm. So majority of them have happened on the back end of that, right?
Yep, and it's still obviously too many. And also when you account for the unsolved murders, it's probably even more.
Yeah. And I don't know. I've never seen any, I'm not going to single out any religious figures, but I haven't heard anyone really complain about that. Has anyone brought that up?
I haven't heard it.
Thou shalt not kill.
That's like number one.
Seems like 13,000 people kind of failed us there.
Yeah, it does. And then J.D. Pritzker was talking to Al Sharpton.
What did you just say? J.D.?
J.B.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, J.B. Pritzker.
All right. And Abigail what?
Spangberger.
How do you get this shit wrong, dude? People are supposed to listen to you.
You know who Spangberger is.
Okay, that's fair. That's pretty fair. That is fair.
All right, so J.B. Pritzker was talking to Al Sharpton, and listen to how he described ICE.
I knew when he got reelected that it was going to be bad. It was bad the first term, but you could see he was heading into a second term to really take away people's rights. And the first thing he did was go after, ICE, CBP invading my city.
So ICE are the invaders of your city, not the illegals who are getting all the free stuff, doing crimes, taking over apartment complexes, being violent. ICE are the invaders, the people getting those people out.
Yeah. It's almost too perfect.
It's like,
and this is the type of shit like where if you're not like thrilled with Trump or shit's not going well and you're worried about his foreign policy on stuff, which I am. We're wasting time and we have a mandate to get all these migrants out and stuff like that. I can't vote for this. I can't vote for anyone on this side, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're stuck.
Yeah, we are stuck. And I'm going to use the Pope's advice on this next clip, and I'm going to be nice to the foreigner. Check out this guy. Get this man a CDL and send him to Columbus, Ohio now.
Yeah, what's the most complicated freeway exit in around a Midwestern city that we have? Let's get him there. I want him reading signs. Or maybe he could stay in Africa, do a Goonies remake with Africans, right?
The Black Goonies. But we got to get that guy a debit card.
Yeah. Let's get him a prepaid one so we can just swipe it.
Put him in the hotel.
Yeah.
Whatever it costs.
We got to be nice to the foreigner.
We'll pay for it. We have plenty of money.
I know. Totally.
We have plenty of land, too. We need this guy here. All right, our next story in our migrant section happened at Coachella. Sabrina Carpenter had a performance interrupted by a Muslim yodeler.
Yeah, and let's just play it first and foremost.
For someone what? Is that what you're doing? Yes. I don't like it. That's your culture, is yodeling? Is this Burning Man? What's going on? This is weird.
So there was a Muslim yodeler doing like a Muslim yodel thing. We have an example of what that sounds like and what they did at the concert.
Yeah, I'm learning this against my will, but apparently it's called Zagruta.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and here's an example.
So that's what they were doing. And I was going to say, is Sabrina Carpenter based? Nah, she already apologized. Can you read her apology?
My apologies. I didn't see this person with my eyes and I couldn't hear clearly. My reaction was pure confusion, sarcasm, and not ill-intended. Could have handled it better. Now I know what a Zagruta is. I welcome all cheers and yodels from here on out. Come fucking ruin my concert with your stupid ethnic sounds and clicks. Maybe we'll get an African in there and do a...
Yeah. Basically what she's saying is, I didn't realize you were brown, so yodeling at my concert and interrupting is good now.
Yeah, and can you imagine, like, think about all the cultures. What if someone was just yelling, God save the Queen, in front of your concert? Even though that's an Englishman and that's part of his culture, I think you might get a little pissed. I'm trying to do a set here, an intimate Coachella set. But yeah, just back down, and then any brown person can do whatever the fuck they want. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were brown. Please continue ruining everything and doing whatever you want. Why don't you play TikToks on loud, too?
Yeah, brown is good, white is bad. Yeah. You have to yield to brown always.
And you know what? The brief mask-off moment, that's what she really thinks about somebody doing the turkey yell. That's what she really thinks. It's disgust and what the fuck are you doing?
This is retarded.
And you're ruining my concert right now. She was trying to shame them, and then it turns out they used an Uno reverse card. And that Uno reverse card is just, I'm a brown person. So,
this is okay because I'm brown.
So she had to bend the knee. That's the fan base she's curated, people who would be offended by that, right?
Very true. All right, we're going to go abroad really quick to Spain. I'm sure you guys saw this. Spain is being invaded by sub-Saharan Africans. We have a couple clips here. Here's them coming on the boat to Spain.
Holy shit, man.
And it gets worse.
All men. Every single guy.
And they're coming to Spain. We can play the next clip too. This is them getting off the boat. We'll kind of go fast through it. There's them landing. And now you're Spanish.
Just
be nice
on
to
foot.
The foreigner.
You're as Spanish as Hernan Cortez.
Yep. You're Spanish now. And then here's them on the border kind of getting in the mountains. Look what this looks like.
It looks like a zombie movie.
It's horrible.
Camp of the Saints type shit.
Horrible. There's just tons of them. They're all wearing winter clothes.
I don't know why.
They're looking for a bike. I'm sure they'll be on bikes soon.
Yeah.
These are the types. Here's another clip of them invading. And they're just running in all their clothes in Spain. They live in Spain now, and they're expected to be taken care of.
They just need to get deeper into the country, so you can't just Uno reverse card their boat. You can't fill up their boat and send them back across.
And then someone made an interesting point on Twitter because a few days ago, Spain kind of like disavowed Israel and the war and what they're doing in Palestine. And they were basically like, we don't want anything to do with Israel anymore. And someone had a tweet that summed that up.
Anyone else think it's a bit of a coincidence that the minute Spain refuses to back Israel, hundreds of thousands of Africans with equipment and life jackets and boats fled Spain?
And we have a statement from Netanyahu. He speaks it in Jewish, so Rapboy will Hebrew. So Rapboy, you can kind of skim through and just read what he's saying.
Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has defamed our heroes, the soldiers of the IDF, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world. Therefore, I have instructed today to remove Spain's representatives from the coordination center in Kiryat Gat. After Spain has chosen repeatedly to stand against Israel, those who attack the state of Israel instead of terrorist regimes will not be our partners. Regarding the future of the region, I am not willing to tolerate this hypocrisy and hostility. I do not intend to allow any country to wage a diplomatic war against us without paying an immediate price.
So that immediate...
Was that the immediate price?
I think the immediate price is that. And if you notice...
Migrants!
If you notice, those life jackets look brand new.
Maybe something there, I'm not sure, but a threat and then a result.
And basically, you have to support Israel or you'll get third world sub-Saharan migrants dumped on your doorstep. And then if you don't support Israel, you get the migrants anyway. Either way, no matter what, you get the migrants.
Yeah, pick a hand. Pick a hand. 50,000 African migrants. What was in this other one? 100,000.
So no matter what, whether you support them or not, you're still getting the migrants.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
I don't know. I don't know any about that. The timing is suspicious.
I'll take the no on that.
Take it.
All right. Well, that's the end of our migrant section. Now moving on to the final page of housekeeping, where I can say whatever I want. Use the opportunity to tickle the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, comment again, and start yapping. PO box needs to be full. Notifications need to be on. Old episodes need to be watched. The link to this episode needs to be sent to the boys in the group chat. That was good.
Do you need a pat on the back?
I had like
a pat on the back, buddy?
I had a slump where I just couldn't do it for like 4 episodes.
You had a bad intro today, too.
Yeah, well, I went 1 for 1. But if you
on
guys,
the 6th try.
If you guys saw what really happened.
You went 1 for 1 on the 6th try.
I almost lost it all. Yeah. Almost canceled the episode. I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good. All right. Tax season. You guys know taxes are due tomorrow.
Yeah, I did mine this weekend. It was the joy of the Masters and then the despair of doing my taxes, of which I owed a good amount of money.
And I want to let you guys know something. I always make joke, I don't want to pay my taxes, or I'm not going to pay my taxes. I did pay my taxes, and I went through line by line. It took a long time, and I did it perfectly, and I used a tax guy, and I honestly and perfectly, no problems, paid my taxes. And all those things I was saying about trying to get out of it were a joke. And I'm happy to pay my fair share, to give money to Somalis or whatever. I don't care what they do with it. Bomb Ukraine, money to Israel. I paid my taxes honestly.
So did I. I swear.
I swear to God, I pay my taxes honestly.
I swear to God, I paid my taxes honestly as well. I swear to God.
You do the wonky. Guys,
I swear to God.
Guys, I paid my taxes honestly.
Of course I did.
The wonky.
Of course I did. I'm a U.S. taxpayer.
You're supposed to, and it's about honesty.
I actually paid more taxes this year. I had a bad stock gain. Well, it's good, but I had to pay more this year than any average year. And it hurts more because of all the fraud. It hurts more. I reached a peak in paying taxes, and I know it's going to absolute dog shit. It hurts, man. It really does hurt.
It really does. But we have to, and we did, and that way we don't go to jail.
You know what I was thinking about, too, is the way they set it up. W-2 employees, anybody who works like, Fortune 500, whatever company, their taxes are taken out every week. And that's kind of like, that pacifies everybody. And then some of them, they get a little, you shouldn't usually get a refund. You should withhold the exact amount where you're pretty even or you owe a couple $100. But the fact that they take it out instead of you having to write a check for it is a psyop to make you a little more complacent, I think.
And then instead you get like, I got $1,200.
Yeah, I got $1,200 back.
This is sweet.
Yeah, and if you had to write the check, I think everybody would go crazy.
I think so too. That's a great point.
So.
All right, let's get to the final page. There is a chimp war going on in Africa.
Yeah, and it's not in Detroit. Massive chimpanzee group in Uganda has reportedly split into rival factions and descended into a deadly civil war.
That's interesting.
Chimps go hard. They fight wars, and they'll kill a leader off, and then a power vacuum. They're very much kind of like us.
They're close.
Yeah, they are.
And there was some additional context.
Chimps in Uganda just split into rival factions. 30 killed, including 19 infants, published in Science Journal, the bloodiest primate conflict ever recorded.
Wow.
That's cool that, you can make the news if you're a chimp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we've done that before. I think there was a famous trio of lions that ran the Serengeti or some area in Africa. And they were all 3 brothers, and people documented them. There's a certain point where these animals don't know they're being documented, but you can make history.
That's a good point.
As a chimp, as a lion, you can make history.
That's cool. I like that we write it down.
Yeah.
We keep their history for them. Mm-hmm. We keep the history of the African chimps for them because they can't do it themselves.
Of course not. Of course they can't.
So their history is just whatever we write for them. They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I don't know what you're digging at here, but it doesn't seem deep. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
I'm just talking about monkeys, baby.
Yep.
All right. And then speaking of monkeys, this is actually a darker side of the monkey situation. Someone tried to bring a dead monkey into America to eat or something?
Yeah, CBP agriculture specialist seized a dead non-human primate on April 8th from a traveler arriving from Cameroon. CDC confirmed health concerns leading to seizure and destruction. And somebody said, CBP said, another semi-regular reminder that bringing desiccated monkey corpses into the United States is prohibited. Some people go, I did not know you could not do that. We bring desiccated monkey meat everywhere we go.
I'll just eat it here.
Yeah, I'll just eat it now before you take it. And it's like the most disgusting shit. And desiccated obviously means like kind of dried out. It's like dried out monkey meat, to be used in ceremonies that shouldn't be taking place on U.S. soil?
I just need to get to Cincinnati, Ohio. And then I'm going to use the monkey in a cauldron and do the ceremony, black magic, and it's no big deal.
Then I'm done. Monkey no more. Then I'm done.
Pretty good.
Cameroon. Put them on the list, Anybody, this should be like all right, you just lost your whole country's privileges.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You ruined it for everyone else.
You brought the desiccated monkey meat. Get the fuck out.
But the Pope wants you to be nice. He's got one monkey. He's going to eat it.
You should share communion over the monkey meat, over the desiccated monkey meat.
So true. And I want the Pope to be mad at me because I know he does tune in sometimes.
He's a South Side of Chicago White Sox guy, so I know he watches the show. But, man.
I'm just trying to understand.
Your Holiness, please.
Please, respectfully.
Please stop,
Respectfully.
We got stuff to do.
Our next story is about sleeping position and how it affects your dreams, emotions, and sleep quality.
Left-sided sleepers had 3 times the nightmare rate of right-side sleepers. Right-side sleepers were more likely to dream with relief and safety. Left side was fear and helplessness. Overall sleep quality was also better on the right side.
That's interesting.
What do you do?
I'm
a right-side sleeper.
Is that right side of the bed or right side of your body?
Actually, I don't know. I actually just go face down and then I look like this. So it's kind of on my right side, but I'm really a stomach sleeper.
You're not supposed to do that.
So I might not be in.
You're not supposed to do that.
I did it when I was a baby and now I'm stuck. I can't change.
The OG show watchers know
this.
Do?
Sleep on your back and just have sleep apnea? Is that what you do? That's your advice to me? You're not supposed to do that and I sleep perfectly?
I actually told everyone on the show how I sleep like maybe 340 episodes ago.
Okay.
Like very early on. So the OG show watchers know. But I sleep where I'm on my back. I have like this plain elevated pillow. And then I put a pillow under my arm, a pillow under my arm, a pillow under my legs, and a pillow under my feet. So I have like this lazy boy, like somewhat upright, kind of like this, but it goes up. So these are my legs, and then this is my back. Like there's pillows here, and there's pillows under the feet. So it goes like down and then back up. Yeah. And that makes me breathe okay at night.
Yeah.
And then you like this.
And then you fart into the pillow all night, and then you switch it, and now it's on your head later. You're a big pillow boy. So
disgusting.
That's what, 4 pillows you need to create this I don't even know what to call it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pillows. And if you look at my bed, it's a pillow pile.
All right. Good for you. So what's your nightmare rate?
It's like a king throne thing. It's like a throne I create with all the pillows.
I never have nightmares. I never have nightmares.
I don't really have nightmares either.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't dream because I don't get into the deep sleep because I can barely breathe. But now that I'm losing weight and I have my throne set up with all the pillows and I finally figured it out, I do sleep better. And then whenever I have a deep dream, I know I slept good. And I'm having dreams like half the time. So I'm getting some good sleep.
Okay.
So I'm improving.
Good for you. Well, I guess the main thing is do not sleep on your left side unless you want a nightmare death spiral. I guess that's it.
All right. We have one last piece of the final page of housekeeping. VAERS, which is a massive vaccine injury reporting website that is completely legit, dropped the receipts on miscarriages and stillbirth reports by year, and it looks like 2021 and 2022 was not good.
Yeah, from basically flat for decades to over 3,500 plus reports in 2020 alone. That's not a gentle curve. That's a cliff.
And you guys know.
And to be fair, this might have been like, there's a case of awareness to this too. Like, I'm going to report this. I'm going to attribute it to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm vaccine paranoid. I'm going to attribute it to this because I did have one.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I'm not negating the data or anything, but I'm just saying there is a little bit of like
But the number
awareness.
Of still deaths and miscarriages is the issue. The number.
Reported to VAERS, right?
Yeah.
That are being attributed to. So you understand what I'm saying now? That maybe it could have been a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, but also I
little
think
bit psychosomatic.
I think a lot more stillbirths and miscarriages did happen, and there were things that people put into their body right before it that they didn't do before.
For sure.
So maybe a little bit what you're saying, but I think there was a problem with the vaccination.
I'm just playing a little bit of devil's advocate, I think.
That's why you're here, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what you do. All right, well, that's the end of the final page. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first story from Cringe of the Week. Malcom in the Middle is weird and gay now. They just did a reboot, and everyone's like non-binary and in a throuple or something.
Yeah, and this is like years in the making. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I grew up on Malcom in the Middle. Anybody who like was a 90s kid probably liked that show. I used to watch it with my family. Like, that was a good show. And it was genuinely funny, too.
I love Malcom in the Middle, and I watched the first episode. I couldn't keep doing it.
Great bits, Cranston, whatever. All right, so they made everyone gay. Like, it's just shoehorned in. It's like this cast reunion thing where all the old characters come back, but then everybody added or changed was like gay or some stupid shit, right? I'll just read this first. So Disney, it was on Hulu, so it's Disney, Hulu. Disney brings back Malcom in the Middle, which ended decades ago with a proper send-off. They made Stevie gay despite him crushing on Malcolm's babysitter, pretending to be in critical condition to get another girl to like him. There's stacking amounts of evidence proving he likes girls. And the child Hal and Lois had at the very end is, wait for it, non-binary. If you had even a shred of hope that you were going to relive the glory days, you were kidding yourself. Disney owning this, backed up with the negative reviews, should have been the dead giveaway. Don't waste your time. It's modern day Disney being modern day Disney.
It was really bad, and I'm assuming that's why Dewey didn't want to do it. Dewey, the brother, didn't come back for it.
Dewey's based. He said, no fucking non-binaries.
I read the script, not doing this shit.
Yeah, but so why? Like, this is a cast that existed in like the early 2000s before anything happened. Why would you shoehorn in a bunch of non-binary or weird characters in here? Or why would you make Stevie gay? Like, that point, the guy just said, Stevie, there were multiple episodes about him emphasizing his illness to get girls. There was a boating episode where they went on a family vacation and there's a cheerleading camp right there and the boys are going crazy. It's all to get the girls. And then, he's a gay twink with an interracial husband and they acquired a baby. So they ruined him and then they added a non-binary character for no fucking reason. And here's why. The show's creator, Linwood Boomer, and his wife, executive producer Tracy Katze, spoke to Deadline about the reboot. They were specifically asked about Kelly, that's the new character, who should get 0 screen time. This is like a reliving of glory days. We don't need to shoehorn in someone in. And that was the non-binary. I got to tell you, it's really important. It's a really important thing to us. 3 out of our 4 kids are queer. And without making it a thing and without making it an issue, I think it's really nice to have a character that's just a facet of their personality as opposed to the entire story.
Well, you didn't do that either.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about them being queer and non-binary or whatever.
And then they also showed these Krellboins, which if you watch the original show, these were some of Malcolm's nerds friends in the beginning. And there's 3 of them. And there's like 1 kid shared between them. And we don't know. It's never explained.
It's a throuple and they're all gay.
I don't know. It's implied they could be sucking each other. And then here's the non-binary in the fucking suit. And that's my favorite. Non-binary, and it's just an attractive woman. It's an attractive girl.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. Everybody's beautiful, and it's wear this stupid suit. They made this whole thing about it was like an anniversary for Hal and Lois, the parents of the show, and this whole thing about why the non-binary person liked their dad, Hal, as this girl's dad, was because he accepted her and knew something was wrong when it was non-binary. So.
Very frustrating.
And I took this personally. I had to watch the whole thing. I had to see it through. But it seems to me like, obviously, we've seen it before with Star Trek. We made a new Star Trek spinoff, and this guy's gay, and this guy's black, and this guy does this. You don't have to watch that, right? But to really dig up the corpse and the spirit of a show and throw all this shit in there, it was just very strange and almost disrespectful. And then part of me felt like they wrote this in like 2021.
Yeah.
And it was waiting to get made because it was so bad. There was Malcolm's got a half black wife or a girlfriend. And then at one point they just like talked shit about cops for no fucking reason. They shoehorned that in. So they were doing their best to ruin a good thing. And I feel bad for the actors who came back. Like they're getting derailed by this stupid shit. And then they had a good time and That's how it goes, right?
Yeah, that's how they do it. They always take stuff we like and then they ruin it and make it gay and pretend that's what it always was retroactively.
Because you wouldn't watch some stupid non-binary show, so they have to make a non-binary and Malcolm in the Middle, this famous intellectual property, right? So just annoying, and it's funny that I actually watched the whole thing.
Yeah, thank you for doing the research.
And you did, what, half an episode and turned it off?
First episode, turned it off. They should do this with The Sopranos. You know, now that Tony's dead, all the characters in Sopranos can really be themselves.
Yeah, Silvio opened a flower shop. He got out of that coma and he opened a flower shop.
Yeah, Adriana started an OnlyFans.
Oh.
That actually did happen.
That was true. That one really happened. Yeah.
All right.
Furio, he pulls espresso shots. He works at a coffee shop. It's crazy.
Yeah, he was all that violence. That was all because Tony was influencing him as a white straight male.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, man. That's
Crazy.
basically what it is.
All right, our next story. Senator Mark Kelly says he wouldn't want an all-white space crew when he was being interviewed about Artemis.
When you're the commander, you get some say in who your other crew members are going to be. So the last thing I would want in a space shuttle crew would be 7 white guy, U.S. Navy, test pilots like me. It would be a disaster.
That's exactly what I would want.
Yeah.
7 Navy pilots flying the spaceship? Yeah. And then he says that would be a disaster. Mm-hmm. Well, no one would be starting a fight with their ops. No one would be weak and non-binary. And no one would be on their period. So maybe not so bad.
Yeah, periods in space. Zero gravity. I imagine that gets messy.
Goes up.
What am I tasting? Tastes metallic in here. Ugh.
And it's also ironic because Senator Kelly did lead a crew, a space crew in 2011, and they were all white guys.
Yeah, and in 2011, Mark Kelly commanded the final flight of Space Shuttle Endeavour on STS-134, leading a crew of 6 astronauts, including Gregory Johnson, Michael Finke, Greg Chamitoff, Andrew Fustel, and Roberto Vittorio, all white males. 4 of 6 were ex-military pilots.
So it seems to work, and he's just saying it to say it now, in hindsight, pretending that's how he feels.
Back when it counted, quiet as a church mouse. But now, in front of the stage of idiots and a sign language interpreter, now's the time to slander white men, right?
Exactly. And you know who also prioritized diversity in a high-stakes mission? The Titanic submersible.
The guy who exploded everyone to death. He said Titanic tour CEO didn't hire 50-year-old white guys because they weren't inspirational. And then he sent a fiberglass-made submersible down to the depths of which you could hear cracking, and then it exploded on everybody, killing everyone. So
how'd that go?
No diversity, no inspiration, but we're all dead.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain.
Exactly. And then Joy Reid was interviewed the other day, and she claims that white people have never invented anything.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU that can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a...
So white people can't invent anything. And I saw a tweet that kind of sums up how I feel about this. It just says you can just make up black history.
That's what she's up to. And she talked about all this music and stuff, and it's like, yeah, all right, who invented the guitar? Who invented stringed instruments? And my favorite part of this is like, this is, you see this on a lot of Democrat kind of left-leaning shows, is they try to form a coalition. Like me and Fleckus are just college friends, and we're best friends, and we have the same views, and we like to laugh. So we started a show. They're like shoehorning in, all right, black woman, Muslim guy. That's our coalition.
This should work.
And then this guy just has to nod at fucking stupid Joy Reid talking about we invented everything, white people invented nothing, but they took the Smithsonian. Yeah. That's what's important, right?
And we actually have some stats about who invented everything. The first one, the 50 greatest breakthroughs since the wheel, and then the blue is white people.
Yeah, and some of the examples are the printing press, electricity, penicillin, the internet, the airplane. Those are some big things. Those are pretty much in everyone's life, right?
Yeah.
Gunpowder, compass, alphabetization, all that stuff. 82% European descent. The East Asians get a couple of doubles. They hit a couple doubles in there. And ancient Near East / Egypt / Semitic, they got 5. And 0 primary breakthroughs from Black / Sub-Saharan African.
And we actually have a fact check too. Fact check, were any of the top 50 breakthroughs created by blacks and stolen by whites? And it says 0% actually were.
No, none of them were. I don't know how that would happen either, right? Like, how would that happen? You go in to Africa, you steal the tech, you make sure the guy can never build the tech again, and then you take it to America. It's like, what are the logistics of stealing something? So
maybe someone was like kind of trending towards a direction of like creating something.
Yeah.
To go,
he thought it up, but he had no technical know-how or something.
See, you're using this thing to carry the water. What if that thing was attached to a donkey and then he, probably like that.
Yeah.
And I saw an interesting point on Twitter. It said like, if you asked white people, if you press this button, slavery never happened, would you press it? Everyone would say yes. Mm-hmm. And if you ask black people in America, if you press this button, slavery never happened, would you press it? And they might say yes, but then that puts them back in Africa right now.
They wouldn't live in America, yeah.
So in a way, the best thing to happen to black people in America was the fact that they were actually brought here initially and were able to live in modern times in America as opposed to just being in Africa the whole time, allegedly. Some people might say.
One could say that. Yeah.
All right, our next clip is my favorite clip from Cringe. This girl tries to bait this guy doing a tabling experiment, and she tries to bait him into saying the N-word.
I mean, let's take it further. Yeah. Let's go a lot further. I think we should all be able to say the N-word.
Go on then.
Nigger.
Oh.
I think we should all be able to say it. I don't think it should just be reserved to one group of people.
Okay.
I think if we're going to have a word, then everyone should be able to say it.
Okay.
So he basically called her bluff with that one. But she thought, obviously, he wouldn't say it because he'd get canceled. It would ruin his life. People would assault him. And as soon as he says it, do you see how she looks around, like hoping someone heard that and is going to go attack the guy because she can't attack him herself?
She's looking for support. She's going, can you believe it? This guy just did that. And she looks around, and when nobody says anything, she's a little deflated. So, like, the word itself didn't matter. You're talking about people's reaction mattering, right?
Yeah. But she looked around like, oh, you're done now. Someone heard that, and they're going to go attack you for saying a word. She was looking for that. And someone made a good point on Twitter. They said, this is why these types vote and usher in tyrannical government.
Yeah, I can see it.
I
can see it. Yeah.
And I actually have a tweet that goes along with cancel culture because like if that happened a few years ago, that guy's would be all over the internet. You get fired from his job. You lose all of his opportunities and sponsorships. But now the canceling isn't really working. People are writing articles and trying to cancel and like no one really cares anymore. And this tweet kind of sums that up.
Yeah, from Mark Andreessen. He said, it's incredible the extent to which the social sanctioning engine has simply seized up. Hit pieces that would have been 5 alarm fires 5 years ago now come and go with no notice. Nobody cares. It's over.
That's what I like.
And we gotta thank the people who are just spamming hard R's and going crazy on Instagram because you're like the tip of the spear or you're the plow on the front of the truck.
Yeah.
Some of you guys, thank you for your service.
Pleasure working with you guys.
Pleasure.
All right,
Pleasure's all mine.
Yeah. Our last clip of Cringe. Apparently snow plowing is sexist.
Snow clearing sexist. Women are invariably more likely than men to walk and take public transport. The apparently gender-neutral snow clearing schedule was in fact not gender-neutral at all. They found that snow clearers prioritized first the main roads and arteries of the city.
For drivers,
which were more often men, and the smaller paths, which were disproportionately used by women, were prioritized second. So the town councilors switched the order of snow clearing to prioritize pedestrians and public transport users. What they didn't realize was that it would actually end up saving them money. Since 1985, northern Sweden had been collecting data on hospital admissions for injuries. Their databases were dominated by pedestrians, who are injured 3 times more often than motorists in slippery or icy conditions, and account for half the hospital time of all traffic-related injuries. And the majority of these pedestrians are women, and found that the injuries cost money in healthcare and lost productivity. The estimated cost of all these pedestrian falls during just a single winter season was 36 million kroner, around 3.2 million pounds. But even Even with this conservative estimate, the cost of pedestrian accidents in icy conditions was about twice the cost of winter road maintenance.
Wow.
In Solna, near Stockholm, it was 3 times the cost, and some studies reveal it's even higher.
I'd like to understand why.
Part of it was
Men's
that
job-
women make multi-stop trips, whereas men statistically are more likely to have linear commutes. So like they go from home to work to home, whereas women are more likely statistically to be going to school, to be going to visit their ailing parent, to get groceries, caregiving.
Interesting.
Women then
So there you go. Don't plow the main roads first, which keeps the city open and emergency response able to respond. We got to clear the side roads because women are walking and might fall or something.
Yeah, and I like a lot of the words there, and I guarantee you this study is hard to replicate. This is one of those studies you can't get the same result twice on.
From some small town in Sweden where it's like, oh, we got to extrapolate this.
And then the whole thing, like there's a lot of heavy lifting when they present that sort of study where it's like women are more often on the side roads. And it's like more often, meaning what? Like 52% versus 48%? Like it's not like all women do this and all men are driving right in the city center. There's like these tiny differences where it's like a little bit this way or a little bit that way, right?
And then also...
But they paint a picture of a mother walking on the sidewalk that hasn't been shoveled yet. She's carrying groceries to her ailing mother. There's like this whole narrative.
And
that
the
needs
men
to
are
go
on the
in.
cleared road
And the
smoking
men are
cigars.
like, whoa, this is fun. Yeah. You driving too, Mike? Yes, I am, Johan. You know, but yeah, I don't know.
And then like more women are in the hospital. So it's like, okay, it's probably the same amount of people, men and women. And then like women fell and got injured easier. And
man
like,
rubbed some dirt on it.
Yeah, and women are like weren't athletic enough to maybe stay on their feet and not slip on the ice.
They're always looking for, and this is like in Sweden, a very nice place with white people.
Yeah.
Swedish people.
It's very true.
And they're always looking to say, no, we need to do this because women are getting hurt. What, you slipped on the ice? Maybe stay in. Maybe stay inside.
And the
roads are for people who have to go somewhere. You walking for errands, maybe just wait until the snow's cleared, right?
And then if you applied like traditional views to this scenario, wouldn't women be staying at home and cozy while the men go out in the snow to work or do whatever they have to do?
Yeah, so what you're saying is like they fight for equality, so they have the same jobs and the freedoms and whatever, and then anything that disproportionately affects them, they fight that for sexism after.
But like
Very
if you had the traditional view, you would just be staying home like drinking hot cocoa while your husband puts his jacket on and goes out.
Yeah.
And they should maybe study what percentage of the snowplow guys are women.
Oh.
Maybe that's sexism too? It should be 50-50, right? Mm-hmm. How many snowplow women do you see driving the truck with the salt?
0.
How many have you ever seen?
0.
Maybe we should study that.
Yeah.
That's disproportionate.
Mm-hmm.
Disproportionate. You see how I knew that?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, that's the end of Cringe. Now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, our first story from Urban Decay. There were some memorial cutouts made for some urban teens. And as you can see here they are doing what they love.
They're life-size cutouts. They have the doves. And someone says, long live Trench something.
Long live Trench baby thang. And the other one says Trouble Crew. And they're holding Glocks, assuming with the switches.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what they're memorializing, I guess, because those people, I'm assuming, passed away because of the doves.
And I think this person is promoting their business. So this is something they're looking to do to other young men who are living that gang lifestyle and who need to be memorialized.
Yeah, and that's the memorialization right there.
Lovely.
Them with the guns. I was going to say, we talked about this. No one's more attentive to ghetto innovation than right-wing podcasters like us.
I know. Something like this comes across my desk. I have to shove it in the asset folder. I immediately go crazy. Hey, did you see this? I start talking to my friends. We really spread the good word of what the ghetto is up to.
We're keeping tabs. We watch close. We probably watch close more than people in the ghetto.
Definitely.
And then we have a clip here. This is from Chicago. There was a massive shootout. It's basically a minute straight of just shooting. Full auto. We can let that play. And it goes on like that for 30 more seconds. All full auto, hundreds of rounds expelled. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this before the show. You can kind of go ahead and mention what you said.
Well, I think this is so strange because obviously these guys are always, they're in the trenches, they're fighting out. These kind of gangbangers who have ops, they're always getting into some sort of shootout or they have their gun on them. But I never see very many of them train. They don't train for it. They just shoot like this. They shoot kind of around a car like this. And I feel like these guys chose a high-risk lifestyle. And if I had chosen a high-risk lifestyle, I would do as much training as I could to give myself an edge in that scenario. If I know I'm going to face ops who have guns and are ready to shoot them at me, like we just saw here, I think this was 500 rounds expelled, I would be training my ass off. It's life or death. Yeah. And I never see any of it. Blindfold, put the gun back together, do this, clear a jam. Like, this is their job. And especially if you make money from drug dealing or gangbanging or being a pimp or whatever, that is a corollary to holding a gun and like needing to use force, then I think this is like a key part of your job. And they don't view it that way. They don't get better at it. They just pop. And then they see their friends go down and they're not even trying. And
no training.
It's just very fascinating to me. And you'll see a suburban white guy who he lives in the suburbs. He works at a white collar job somewhere that's completely safe. And he goes to church once a week. And he's doing shit like this. He goes like this and he dry fires. He goes like this. Perfect form, like this. He's working on it the whole time.
Cleans his guns.
He cleans it like crazy and he'll like maybe never see danger in his whole life. God willing, he'll never see danger. These guys probably can't go a weekend without hearing shots down the block and they have no interest in training on how to draw, how to clean their gun, how to do anything. So it kind of, and honestly, thank God. Imagine a bunch of well-trained fucking low IQ idiots out there shooting 500 rounds instead of just a pop, 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 pop.
Adjusting their scope. They have like a spotter. Like, all right, fire.
Yeah. 600 meters. You accounted for that wind from the northwest? Like these two fucking hood guys. All right, our ops, I'm about to blow his head smooth off. Boom. Like if they were well-trained, it could be crazy. But yeah, the white guy trains and he'll never need it. The people who literally need it never train. Such a dumb disconnect, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, though, when they don't train, this is the type of crime that happens. This headline from Mass Daily News says, they jumped out in latex gloves and fired 70 rounds. Now DNA links 2 teens to the murder of a 21-year-old Massachusetts congressional intern who was just walking by.
Hit with a stray bullet, 21-year-old congressional intern dead for no reason.
Yeah, and from a small western town in Massachusetts, this guy, he was on a summer internship, and he gets killed by these young men. Stupid, and stupider.
Yeah,
neck tattoo guys, and that's what happens when when they don't train. You hit the baby, you hit the congressional staffer.
So true. And remember, a lot of people talk about 13% of the population does 50% of the murders, and it's actually like 60%.
Yeah.
But it's not 13% because when you do the numbers for the black population, it's mostly 14 to 30-year-olds who are doing all the murders.
Yeah, of course.
And that's 2% of the population. So 2% is basically doing 60% of the murders. And
super predators.
Maybe they're incompetent to stand trial or something. They look pretty incompetent to stand trial.
And thank the Lord they never train, right?
Yeah, very true. All right, let's move on to our next story. This was a post from a teacher who had a problematic student, and when they got rid of the student, the whole class improved.
Yeah, it says, a student of mine got expelled. I realized she single-handedly brought down 25 other students around her on a daily basis. I had a girl get kicked out because she fought another student. She was a constant headache in class, rarely paid attention, and when she did, offered nothing productive, and most importantly, would not shut up. It was a constant battle of telling her to be quiet. She also happened to be in the worst of my 6 sections I teach. This whole group was just pretty meh. I thought that she was just destructive to the education of herself and maybe a few others around her, but she has been gone for 2 weeks, and my worst class went to by far my best class. The class is more laid back. The discussions are better. The focus is way better. My last test was better than any test this entire year. It's crazy. And then I got sad. One student made 25 other students have a worse experience. What a messed up system we are in. This only happened because the district was handcuffed by state laws. They had no choice but to kick her out. Being a terrible student that is a constant distraction is not enough to prevent ruining the education of the other 95% of the class.
And Memetic Sisyphus had a great point on top of that.
Yeah, extrapolate this to the real world, and he says this doesn't stop being true in adulthood either. Throw about 1,000 guys in jail, and you can make any major metro U.S. city significantly better.
There you go.
I botched that a little, but the point is the same. Like that, one bad egg, one bad shoplifter, one guy who's really wants to shoot. We need those guys off the street so bad. And what's the phrase? Mercy to the cruel is cruelty to the mercy, or something. One of those.
Mercy to the
cruel. I know that part.
No, yeah, mercy to the cruel is cruelty to the innocent.
Yes, the innocent. That's the part I didn't change. So yeah, I mean that's it. We have to enforce our laws, and it's like a rabid dog or something. You don't just go, oh, let's see if he gets better. You separate him, and he's going to have the most horrible death ever, right?
That's so true.
You don't just do experiments and test it out, and maybe he won't bite the others. So
yeah, the rest of the doggy daycare, it starts acting a lot different when the bad dog goes away.
Totally.
All right, our next story, a 60-time repeat offender killed a Marine.
What's up? What's up? You want 40?
This was in North Carolina.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Knife crime.
Dude, Caden. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We can't really show much because he's horrifically bleeding.
Yeah. So we don't have to show the rest. Super sad. Someone tries to help him. He doesn't make it. And died Marine, and he got stabbed by some guy who should have been in jail 55 times ago.
Yeah, nothing new to report. Just the same thing that we keep complaining about keeps happening. The same single issue, and that's one of those guys. That's one of those guys. You put him and 50 of his buddies away who are kind of similarly fucked up, and I guarantee you Wilmington, North Carolina is a much nicer place to live.
Very true. All right, our last couple pieces here. This is in Massachusetts. It's kind of paired with a congressional intern who was killed. Massachusetts DAs can no longer hold armed robbers before trial. The state's highest court ruled it's not violent enough to be an armed robber.
Yeah, and so the article starts with a case about a Florida man who walked into a Fall River bank last summer. He handed the teller a note and walked out with $5,000. But before his case was resolved, a legal question made it all the way to the state Supreme Court. Could prosecutors hold him without bail as a danger to the public? The Supreme Judicial Court said no. Armed robbery, the justices ruled on March 10th, does not count as a violent enough crime to lock someone up before trial. Armed robbery with a gun, right?
Not violent enough.
So if he shot someone, it would have, yes, been violent enough, but because he got away with a clean op, it's like rewarding a clean heist. Hey, get out of here, buddy. Keep the 5,000.
He did a good job.
That's a clean heist. No casualties, just like you said. You're free to go.
Take that and he stole $5,000.
You want me to read the mechanics of this, or does it not really matter?
We'll go a little bit more.
Under Massachusetts law, there's a tool called Section 58A that lets prosecutors ask a judge to hold someone for up to 120 days with no bail at all. No ankle monitor, no conditions, just locked up. It's the strongest card a district attorney can play to keep a dangerous person off the street before trial. And the Supreme Court just took that away for armed robbery. The court's reasoning, armed robbery doesn't always involve physical force. Some armed robbers are just a note on a paper bag, so the crime doesn't automatically qualify under the part of the law that requires violence. The legal term is minimal force. The street translation is rob a bank, walk out of court the same day. Yeah, that's basically it. And so if you're going to rob a bank in Massachusetts, use a note. Don't wave the gun around and don't fire a warning shot. Use a note and you could be out on the street.
Crazy. All right, last piece of...
We're going backwards,
yeah.
Right? Oh, this went up to the Supreme Court. We're going to really find out. It's like Massachusetts. Think about how old of a state Massachusetts is. It's one of the original colonies. A lot of activity there. Boston, the whole time. And then we just find out now you can't hold someone, you know?
Yeah.
It takes all this time and then the right political conditions for the judges to finally go, oh, you can't use it now for armed robbery.
And if it happened in 1800 and you robbed a bank, they go, oh,
hang him,
tie him to a few horses, send them in opposite directions, and just pull them apart.
Now you can't even hold him for like 120 days before trial. Crazy.
Now you have to let him go. But there is some good news coming from this thing of like DAs and judges letting people go. Yeah. Someone created a database that follows every judge and what their record is when it comes to repeat offenders going or getting locked up. Can you read that, please?
Yeah, this guy, Johnny FSE, he wrote, I built courtwatch.us, a free public database for American citizens who deserve safer communities. You can track which judges released defendants who then got rearrested, skipped court, or violated their release conditions. All public records, all free. I started with Orange County, Florida, and will be expanding to all 67 Florida counties and eventually every state in the country. The first batch of info is from 2024, and since public reports are released in March/April for the previous year, data is behind, but I want to see if this is plausible. And yeah, so I mean, you'll definitely find who the standout judges are who are constantly letting people in on that wheel of in, out, in, out.
It's like tracking baseball stats almost.
Yeah.
I got the George Gascon first release.
Yeah, what's this Miami-Dade judges war? Or what's his batting average? Yeah, you'll find some stats, I guess.
All right, well, don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold, and we have uplifting stuff today. A little bit of a bird theme in the beginning of Uplifting Gold. We have a bird heron versus a gator in Florida.
I believe this is a sandhill crane.
Holy shit!
So the gator's kind of sneaking up.
Holy shit!
That's a big guy. And look at the birds. The bird is going right up to, oh my God. Look at that.
You taking video?
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That bird is backing him up.
Wait, you taking video? Please God, tell me you are. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Why?
Isn't that impressive?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know sandhill cranes kind of did shit like that.
Well, they get big, and then the crocodile goes, I don't know exactly what I'm looking at here.
I don't want to test this other dinosaur type of guy.
I don't know. This thing looks a lot bigger than I thought initially. I might just get out of here.
It's so funny that like not half, but a lot of animal interactions are like momentarily tricking someone, making yourself look bigger than you are, like a 1 second bluff.
Is that a caterpillar? No, it might be a snake.
Oh my God.
I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah. Oh, that bug looks delicious. No, that's just a leaf. I'll get the fuck out. Yeah. That's basically what happens. They're tricking each other for brief minutes, you know?
Is that snake venomous? I'm pretty sure that's the venomous coral snake, if I'm looking correctly. That's gotta be, I think that's that combo.
Yeah.
Red, black, white, or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's red, white, black, and you go, huh, I could have eaten that piece of shit.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
So that was the good heron clip. We have a bad heron clip too.
I actually like this. This is a great blue heron. Watch what he does.
It's bad.
Yeah. I've done this dance before.
You just play it again from the front.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you dance like that, that's where it comes from in nature.
Yeah.
You ever go to like a wedding or whatever, like a party, and you're Trump does it.
Comes from nature.
Where does it come from? It comes from nature first. Trump, that's the Trump dance.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next clip. We can skip this one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, all right, we'll play it. It's some young streamers figuring out that dinosaurs might not be real.
But twin, I just realized something in my head again. What? How do we know not lions and shit, but what's some shit's called? Dinosaurs became extinct if we wasn't alive when they became extinct. How do we know that? You know what I mean? How do we even know they ever existed? What if dinosaurs was never real? They were just lying this whole time. To me. People what I'm saying though. What if dinosaurs was never real this whole time and they were just lying to us?
Never seen no real
dinosaur with our eyes.
Most of the videos be looking like AI. Most of the videos be looking fake when they say, "Oh, a dinosaur." They
telling you.
This is like what you think. You're close to these guys.
But you can broken clock. You know, you can get there.
No.
But yeah, those kids, the chirping in the background, the smoke detector.
I saw another one where that guy who we've shown with the braces, that cartoonish looking streamer, you remember him, who goes, what'd that mean? Remember that guy?
He didn't know where eggs came from?
I saw him on stream talking about he didn't know where eggs came from. And he didn't believe
the girl goes, oh, they're from chickens. And he's like, what is you talking about? And he's like, chat. Eggs come from chickens. It's just like the most retarded.
I can't do it, dude. But there's a new theme developing where like the dumbest person out there is kind of like you're watching them like
be retarded in the world.
You're watching a version of Idiocracy or something. You're watching a pet.
And that's why...
Which is not a foreign concept to us.
Yeah, I'm very deep in the pet game. But that's why I like you guys so much, the show watchers, because most of you guys are nice people who have families. You're fighter jet pilots, you're regular pilots, you work in tech, like you're smart. There's a lot of nice, smart people that watch the show. It's not the same retard streamer audience that everyone else has.
Yeah.
Grateful for that.
Totally.
All right, next, this fish was choking on a rock but gets saved. We can just fast forward it. You see what's going on here. The fish is choking. He's struggling. He's got the stupid eyes. He ate a rock.
Oh, he ate a rock. I was going to say choking it means his mouth was obstructed, right? So he can't eat anymore.
And there
he can
he
still
goes.
breathe with the gills,
He
right?
spits it out. I guess you're right. I don't know.
I don't really know what was
But they
at
saved
stake.
the fish.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right, our last clip, our Pure Americana clip of the week. A teen Chick-fil-A worker found $9,000 in the restroom at Chick-fil-A and didn't keep it because that's not what Jesus would have done.
Jaden Cintron was hard at work at Chick-fil-A on Monday. But on Good Friday, his character was tested and he passed with flying colors. Kinston police say on Friday, almost $10,000 in cash was left in the restaurant's men's restroom beside the toilet. Cintron walked into the stall during his break like he always does and saw the cash.
Then I just picked it up and I brought it to Human Resources.
The money was inside 2 envelopes when he found it. I asked him why he didn't just keep the money for himself.
But that's not what Jesus would have done. That's not what God would have wanted.
Cintron said his faith guides his thought process.
Money is...
That's very nice.
Yeah. And then he did some mental calculations and he was like, well, if I could get the news crew here, and then the GoFundMe hits, I could make $20K.
I could make $250K.
Nah, I'm just kidding. That's a good kid. Nice work there.
That's a good kid. Nice work. And on Good Friday. So you're being tested at that point.
Very true.
And if you did that and you took the $9K, you'd probably lose like $100K later on something else because you're willing to do that. And then that willingness to do that will put you in a situation where you can get scammed or lose it all or whatever.
Okay.
Something like that. I think
Whatever.
it's all connected. You guys know that. We do have some shout outs. We have a happy birthday to Robert, a.k.a. Tony Balone, on April 15th. He's a bonus lander, and him and his wife, Carrie, love the show. Happy birthday, Robert.
Happy birthday, Tony Baloney.
Tony Balone.
Tax day birthday. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Happy birthday to Brandon W. on April 14th. He turns 40, and that happy birthday is from Carolyn. And thank you guys for watching, you two. And then, Brandon, thank you for your service as well.
Thank you for your service. Happy birthday, Brandon.
Happy birthday. Happy 40th birthday. All right, happy birthday to Armando G. He's a bonus lander, and he loves the show. And him and his wife, Millie, watch every episode. And they watch all the way through. So, Armando, thank you. And I don't know if I think Armando might be an immigrant.
Armando sounds Hispanic.
But a good one.
You're with us, Armando. You're on our side.
Yeah.
You're with us.
We like you, Armando. Don't let them tell you we don't like anyone, any immigrant. We like you. Happy birthday to Mike, the welder, on April 15th. Zach showed him the show, his friend Zach, and he's been watching ever since. And then Zach has been watching since episode 1.
Awesome.
So that's very good.
Happy birthday to Mike and Zach. Shout out to Zach as well.
Thank
Good
you.
name.
Zach sent it to the group chat. Mike started watching. And now he watches every episode. That's how it works. That's why we say
a strong name, Zach. That's biblical.
That's really strong. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. There is a 30-minute bonus land.
Computer goes crazy now.
Computer makes sounds at the wrong time. There's a 30-minute bonus land dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m. on FleckisTalks.com. 30-minute bonus land drops tomorrow there. FleckisTalks.com is the website. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. Enjoy the song, and we'll see you Friday.
See ya.
When
That's your culture, is yodeling? Is this Burning Man? What's going on?